Always something good going on in this Pat's neighborhood.
Thank you all once again for tuning in to Miss Pat's Neighborhood. I'm your host, Pat Mathison, and we have some amazing guests with us today. Kim Moore, the Executive Director of Joshua Community Connectors, is here, and she says Joshua Community Connectors is going to be a game changer for the Russell neighborhood and our city. You know, they are currently working with young men to break down barriers to receiving mental health, employment, and housing. Also with us today is Lacresia Sewell, a licensed real estate agent, and she bought Marie Holmes, a CRA Mortgage Loan Originator. And they're here to tell us some tips and tricks to buying a home. Our entertainment today is going to be a surprise, so you'll have to stay tuned and see what's next.
Hello, my name is George Demery, and I'm your host for Your Money Matters. We promote financial literacy. We help you to find business and education opportunities. We champion strategic thinking of how you spend your money. We want to help you to become more credit worthy. Look for ways of getting that credit number over 700. And finally, we want to help you to break away from financial slavery, debt. Join us each week right here or on demand at ssclivetv.com. SSC Live TV. Truth, justice, power. TV done our way.
Welcome back. We are here with my friend and one of our community's greatest assets, Miss Kim Moore. She is the Executive Director of Joshua Community Connectors, and it's a great fitting name for her. How are you doing, Kim?
I'm good, Pat. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. So I wanted to kind of give you an opportunity to let the community know exactly what Joshua Community Connectors, who you are and what you're doing.
Well, you know, I've been in the community on the ground since 2002 and, you know, ended up at the mayor's office and circled back around and left and received a huge grant from the Keenan Foundation to come back into the Russell neighborhood to strictly focus on Russell around mental health, housing, and food disparities. So that's what I do. So on any given day, my office is at 2120 West Chestnut, and we operate on private money. I always like to say we haven't got a dollar from the city, and that makes me happy. It makes me happy. So for somebody to see your work and to be asked to step down from the mayor's office so you could do your own stuff independent. You know, I like working for myself, and with the other people, and nobody works for me, everybody works with me.
Amen. So I first met you when, you know, Kim has a slogan that says, Kim changes things. So, Kim, you ran a
halfway house right down the street.
Right down the street. And so we were doing a halfway house for men, and yours was for women. So
Yes.
we were able to collaborate on some things. And so that was when I first had my introduction to what Kim was able to do with her resources. And then you moved on and started working for the city, and and was able to do a few things because you had a program that was for.
They still have a program,
okay.
so I was able to build Reimage up from the ground, me and one other
yes.
person, and so they gave us $100,000 to start it. Today I think they have 7 employees and a $2 million budget. And so, you know, I'm sitting there working, I'm thinking if I could build this for the city, I could go into the neighborhood and build this in West Louisville and not have to answer to the city. So that's what I'm doing. And so we looked at parole and probation. And, you know, I've always worked with young people, 16 to 24, and we saw a gap. So somebody goes to prison when they're 20, they get out when they're 26. It's no resources.
Right.
So my resources now are for 25 to 35-year-olds. And it's a lot easier with that population because most of them already been to prison. They want to do something different. They want to change. You know, and if they don't, you know, I'll keep pushing. And, you know, and I always like to tell people, you know, I'm from the Russell area. I'm in my 23rd year of sobriety. You know, I was running around, you know, doing drugs and selling drugs in the 90s, and I felt obligated to come back to the neighborhood that I caused harm in to do some good. And what made me do that is I went to California, and they had what they called this circle back. And so wherever you caused harm at, you're supposed to circle back and do some good. So right down the street from the last house I smoked crack in.
Oh, okay. God has a way, doesn't he?
Won't he do it?
Yes. So, and you know, I want people to hear, you know, while they have a concentrated effort in the Russell community, Kim is a very resourceful individual. And so if she commits that she gonna help you, she gonna help you. So how can people get in touch with you, Kim?
You know, my email is really easy. It's kimchangestthings238@gmail, and my cell phone is 502-407-2749. And, you know, and I always return phone calls. I'm not one of these people that, you know, have a position and I'm not accessible to people. So you can't say you're about the people when they got to go through 10 people to get to me. So
right.
When you come to my office, you're going to see me as soon as you walk in, and, you know, a case manager or my assistant. But, you know, I talk to people myself versus sending messages. So that's how I got sober, having people who talk to me. I didn't have to go through a lot of people to get to what I needed. So I always say that God gave me a dream team of people. And, you know, this church is really where my life changed. I was in church one night, and Reverend Cosby was like, you know, is somebody in here in a storm? And, you know, being in a storm, keep your hair done, keep your nails done. I was in the middle of what I thought was the most painful situation in my life. And I went home and made some choices that affected some other people, but I didn't care because I knew I needed my peace, and I knew I needed my happiness. So we're Joshua Community Connectors in conjunction with Joshua Missionary Tabernacle Baptist Church, Pastor Snorton, and so that's what we do. So thank the Keenan Foundation for thinking enough of me to let me step away from the mayor's office and do what I do independently. You know, I was asked the other day, would I go back to the city, and I said, I'll probably eat ramen noodles for 6 months before. So, you know, that's not something that I want to do. I want to be able to be on the ground with people. And when I tell people what I'll do for them, I want to be able to follow through. And, you know, not so much with other initiatives and stuff, but if I tell you I'm going to help you get you an apartment, I'm going to help you get you an apartment. And so one of the things I get to do is I get to buy a bed, I get to buy a kitchen set, I get to buy everything for the bathroom, I get to buy groceries. And people ask me why I did that, because 22 years ago, a white nun did the same thing for me. She bought me a kitchen set, she bought me a bed, she bought me everything for my bathroom, and that's how I started my journey.
Yeah, and you know, and I think sometimes we need to really look at, you know, we often rely on assistance from the government, but there is nothing like community coming together and doing for our own. And I think that we need to get back to that, because there was a time where Black people, you know,
didn't ask
for the help. We just did what we needed to do on our own.
Yeah,
So
one of the things I was able to
that.
do is I asked the city. I went to the city and I said, can we get some Section 8 vouchers for convicted felons? And they were like, we don't do that. And I was like, yeah, you do, because I know some people that you did it for. So you just haven't done it in West Louisville. And, you know, they came on board and they gave us vouchers. And so I have young men with gun charges of violence in their own apartments simply because the city took a chance on what I was doing. And what I always tell people is in Louisville, it's about relationships. And so, you know, some people think the mayor's done a not so good job. Some people think he's done a good job. But I've always had a relationship with city officials where I could go ask for what I needed. Yeah. And that's what I was telling the protesters. It's real hard to get what you need from people being disrespectful.
Yeah,
you always have to ask. I mean, Pat, will you help me do this? I can't, like, be disrespectful. So in order to get to the table, you got to carry yourself like you belong there. You can act a fool after you get to the table. I mean, I'm at the table. I can act a fool now, you know, but I try not to, but I will about my people. So I want to see people win, and I want to see people work together. And there's so many resources and so much talent in this West End that we refuse to work together. And we have got to get to a point where if you're a good leader, you're a good follower. But some people will sabotage the whole project because they can't lead it. Mm-hmm. And then people sitting back with their popcorn watching it.
Right.
So I challenge everybody just to be willing to work together.
Before you can be a leader, you have to be a good follower. You have to be. So Well, thank you. I think that lots of conversation still needs to happen. And
As you
and,
saw
and
that said.
yeah, and I pray that we will get to a place where we can agree to disagree, but still sit at the table and work towards a common goal of what's in the best interest of our community.
And if you got the best idea, I need to get behind you and I need to support you. And one of the things I've been able to do is I was telling Jason, I had COVID. So after you have COVID and you see hundreds of thousands of people have died, you will choose your battles wisely. Mm-hmm. And so some things that I used to want to battle about, I almost died. So I'm going to stay in my little hula hoop and I'm going to get in the sandbox and I'm going to play with the people that want to play with me. And the people that don't want to play with me, what I always tell people is, if you don't want to play with me, you lose out. Because I got access to a whole lot of stuff and people are willing. So we got a whole block on 21st Street, 2100 block of Chestnut. I talked to a wealthy philanthropist last year and she said, what should I do? And I said, we need to buy a block. Now, I got the idea, she's got the funds, and so I sent her an email and says a couple of buildings for sale on 21st and Chestnut, and she sent me an email back and said I bought the block. She bought every building over there but two, so we have a whole block over there, and she's selling buildings back to black people to build black wealth and not making a profit. Her whole thing is human capital, and human capital is when I take my resources and I change the game for you so you can live better in humanity, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And then hopefully you reciprocate and do the same for someone else.
And if they don't, I just know I did my part.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate all the work that you are doing in our community, and I'm sure that our residents appreciate as well. But I do want to encourage you, if you are an individual between the ages of?
I work with 25 to 35, but I'm doing some consulting work with Goodwill where I'm still working with 16 to 24-year-olds.
Yeah.
And they plugged me they got a big grant, and they was like, will you help us build this program? And I said, I can't give you anything but 7 to 10 hours a week. They actually wanted me to not do my nonprofit right now to help them. And I said, how do you stop doing your dream so you can help me do mine? But Rena Sharp is a person that really believes in the community, and she really reaches back and wants to change this community. So she's one of my partners over on 21st. Goodwill just bought 28 acres on 28th
Yes, and I'm going to have Devon's coming on to talk about that.
Opportunity Campus,
Yes.
and wait till you see some of the things that they're bringing to this neighborhood. So we just have to work together.
Yeah.
To build people up.
And I'm a firm believer, I know it to be so, that we've got some great things going on in West Louisville. And they just often are overshadowed by some of the negativity. So we want to put a spotlight on the great work that's happening here in our community.
And I'm glad that you do that, because when we don't work together, the people that get hurt the most are the people who need us. And so how can I tell somebody 20, y'all should stop the gang violence, stop shooting, stop fighting.
Right.
Then I take him to a community meeting and he sees community leaders act like an idiot,
Yeah.
act like a fool. So, we have to lead by example.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, we're going to move on to the next segment, but thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having
we'll
me.
keep looking at all of the good work that you're doing over at
appreciate you.
Joshua Community Connected.
I appreciate you.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be back. And if you are in need of home ownership, I've got some people that are going to help get you all the way together. We'll be right back with Lacresia Sewell and Marie Holmes. Stay tuned.
Some people refuse to do this to a good Funyun, but if you take a Funyun and put a damp paper towel on it and put it in the microwave for just a little bit to sogify.
That's an official word now. He just made that up.
To sogify your Funyun. Well, hello everybody. My name is Ken Jobst and I am here with my wife,
Elisa Lee.
and I've got to tell you what, I'm so excited to have you back to Taste and See on SSC Live TV. I've had some of the best pickled stuff ever in the history of food. Pickled cucumbers, right?
Which are just usually regular pickles.
Hey, welcome back. I've got some great news and I've got some great people that are here to share this information with you. If you are looking to become a homeowner, I've got some information for you today. Today with me is Lacresia Sewell. She is a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Kentucky and a newly licensed real estate agent in Indiana, as well as Marie Holmes, who is a CRA Mortgage Loan Originator. Now that CRA is important, and we're going to tell you why. Welcome, ladies.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Home ownership is important, and it's very important in our community. We have got to reduce this rate of renting, this cycle of renting that we find ourselves in. So I wanted to bring you on today to talk to the viewers about the possibilities of home ownership and what they would need to do that. So I'm going to start with Lacresia. Can you tell me, what's the housing market doing?
The housing market right now is very interesting. Typically this time of year, it is the actual amount of properties that are available are just a little bit more scarce. But with that being said, it makes it more of a seller's market, which just means for the buyers, it is a little bit more effort to get into a home that you may love and adore. But with some work, a little bit of effort, you can definitely get what you want. So.
Okay. And so, Marie, tell us, what are these interest rates looking like?
So I really can't go into interest rates because we're not supposed to talk about it, but they are pretty low, and they are projected to be low for the rest of the year like it was last year. So they're not really seeing a big increase in them. We was thinking that because of COVID, interest rates will go up extremely, probably like it was back in 2005 when we had the crash, but they've been staying consistent. Very good interest rates. We closed on a client, yesterday whose interest rate was wonderful.
Yes.
Even at the closing, they was like, "Oh, this is a good interest rate." So interest rates are pretty good right now. They really are.
Okay, now share with us about CRA. Tell us what that means.
Yes. So, as she said, I'm a CRA Mortgage Loan Originator. It stands for Community Reinvestment Act. I do work for Republic Bank, and my office is in the west end of Louisville. So I'm at the new YMCA, so the Republic Bank Foundation YMCA, that's where my office is. So my job is to actually go out in the community and do exactly what you said, generational wealth, teach it, explain how you can get home ownership. So that's what the CRA stands for.
Okay, well that's good news. And so I didn't know that, and so I'm sure some of you didn't know it. So if you are in the market looking for to purchase a new home, I know I've already introduced you to a couple people that are very interested. So what would be the first step if I'm looking to purchase my own home?
You want me to get
I was going to say either way. You know, we both know.
I will say this. Before you even come to a lender, the first thing is to go to a lender, because before you can go see Lacresia, she needs to know what you're approved for. Okay. So, but the first thing is figuring out what your credit score is. So a lot of people, and I love to teach this part, if you're using Credit Karma, it's not really your FICO score. We need to figure out what your FICO score is, because that's what a lender is looking for. So just a little bit about me. I remember going and sitting into another loan officer's office and trying to get a loan, and I was just told no, but no reason as to why. Okay, so when my clients come to me, I tell them not yet. I don't believe in a no, but I'm going to tell you how to get to where you need to be. So go to myfico.com. I swear by it, because that's what I did. I did my own investigating in reference to getting my credit score up. It gives you your actual FICO scores that lenders use, which is FICO scores 2, 4, and 5. Okay. If you got anything that's non-medical, we want to pay attention to that first if it's on your credit report, and then we'll deal with that medical debt that you might have. And you really need a 620. People think that you need a 700.
So instead of going to myfico.com, is that a preferred measure over going to like a TransUnion or one of the other credit bureaus? Yeah.
So I'm going to say yes, because if you're just going to TransUnion, you're only pulling your TransUnion score. My FICO is giving you all 3 credit bureaus, which is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Okay, it's going to give you all of that, but it also will tell you the things that you need to do to boost your credit score up. So I have all of my clients do it, because people don't know, when you have all of a bunch of lenders, it's like when you go to the car lot. This is a lesson for everybody. When you go to the car lot, you really should go to an actual bank or credit union first and get pre-qualified for the car loan versus going to the car lot, because they run your credit with several different lenders, and it drags your credit score down a little bit. So go to the source first and then go shop. And it's kind of what you need to do with home ownership. You go to the source and then you go shop.
Oh, see? I mean, we're going to learn some stuff today. We're going to learn some stuff today. Okay, so then I guess my next question would be, okay, so what if I have a house? Is this time to refinance?
If you have a house?
If I already have my house?
Yes, it's time to refinance, because if you, again, can't go into what the rates are, but if you got a house, I'm going to say last year, your rate was probably a little high. Probably a little bit lower this year than it was last year because of everything that's going on. So yes, if you need to refinance, please come see me.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to give both of you the opportunity to give your information out. But I want to also give you an opportunity if there's anything else that you want to tell the viewers yourself about what you do or the process, whatever you want. So we're going to do you first, Lacresia.
Okay. Again, Lacresia Sewell, licensed in Kentucky and Indiana as a real estate agent. My goal and my number one focus is always my client and their needs, making sure that we are able to work together to help you throughout the entire process. Communication is very important to me throughout the process, and obviously making sure you have the resources you need to educate you throughout the process so that you understand what is going on and you don't just feel like you're left alone and have to fend for yourself. As far as how everything goes, again, work very closely with the lender to ensure that we are in close communication throughout the process. You'll understand how critical that communication is to make sure that throughout the process, again, we are on track. Typically, it takes 30 to 45 days to close a loan. So throughout that whole time frame, again, pretty much daily communication and making sure that you understand how the process goes and that we get you to the finish line and achieving your goal of home ownership.
Thank you.
And again, Marie Holmes with Republic Bank, CRA Mortgage Loan Originator. Yes, got to throw that. Y'all understand the passion behind that CRA for me, but CRA Mortgage Loan Originator, and very quickly, we work well together. Something that I created, and I'm going to say it was nothing but God, because we in a God setting right now.
Yes.
He allowed me to create a dream team. So me and her are connected. My dream team is 12 Black women, real estate agents, and we all work well together. God told me I couldn't change generational wealth by myself. I needed a team. So this is why she brought me on the show. So I thank her for even asking me, and thank you for allowing her to ask me, because we are a team.
We are.
But back to home ownership. So if home ownership is really something that you are wanting, reach out to either Lacresia or myself. I'm at the Republic Bank YMCA, downtown Louisville, right there, 17th to 18th, takes up a whole block. Come see me. I'm passionate about what I do. Like she said, I'm gonna hold your hand. You're probably gonna get some things from me that you might not get from another lender.
Absolutely.
I hear that a lot because I'm passionate about what I do. Homeownership is not out of reach for you. You have different programs that is out there. Please do not think that you need $10,000, $20,000 to get a house. Not true. We have Louisville Metro money that I can tell you about. We have Welcome Home that comes out on March 1st. However, you have to be under contract for that first. So you need to come and see me. I'm going to pre-qualify you. Then I'm going to send you to Lacresia, and then y'all can go house hunting.
Yes.
And you can go find that perfect house for you and your family.
But I mean, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. I think that we can move the needle.
Yes.
With this, and I appreciate you. You know, I went out search. I said, you know, I went to Facebook. I said, I need a Black female real estate agent, and lots of names came. You know, but and I'm like this. You know, I reached out to Lacresia, and she responded. That's important to me. That's important.
Communication. Yes.
So she responded. She was the first one to respond. I had some others respond as well, and I want to, you know, make sure that everybody in our community knows who's working for us, who's doing the work. So thank you all so much for coming and sharing this information. I'm sure you are going to get some calls.
We're looking forward
I'm
to it.
I'm pretty positive that you're going to get some calls. So thank you very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. So, and don't you all forget now, if you're in the market for a new home, or you're looking to be a first-time homeowner, please reach out to Lacresia Sewell or Marie Holmes, and they will be happy to get you together. Now, before I let y'all go, I play this little segment on the show.
Okay.
And it's called One Word, First Thought. And so I'm going to just throw out some words, and then I'm gonna look at you and you gotta tell me what's your first thought, okay? Ready?
I need to
Yes, here we go. Midnight.
Snack.
Okay. Braid.
Hair.
Okay. Execution.
Style.
Message.
Text.
Dream.
Team.
Team. Yes. Dream team. Yes.
I like dream team. Yes. Sorry.
Instrument.
Violin.
Did you play violin?
My mom did.
Oh.
That was random. I was like, my mom did.
Okay. Hypothesis.
Guess.
Yeah. Secure.
Husband.
Yes.
All right. Surprise.
Birthday.
Yeah. Well, thank you, girl. Thank y'all so much for playing. It's just a little thing that we like to do. Lighten the mood.
Yes.
But thank you again for coming, and I appreciate all of this valuable information. I hope you will take advantage of it, and we will be right back with a special surprise. Stay tuned.
Get ready.
Get ready for the second season of Miss Pat's Neighborhood. I'm your host, Pat Mathison, and boy, do we have an unapologetically black, bold, and beautiful season planned just for you. So buckle your seatbelts. It's gonna be a wild ride, and you know there's always something good going on in Miss Pat's Neighborhood. So join us each week or on demand at SSC Live TV. It's TV our way. As we continue to highlight some of the talent in our city, I wanted to take this opportunity to share a very special song that the Lord gave me and my best friend, Libby Clark Ray, back in 2013. The words are very meaningful, and I pray that it blesses you. I remember long ago all the stories I was told in Sunday school. The golden rule, yes, Jesus loves me. But I didn't understand that God would always hold my hand, no matter where I chose to go or what I chose to do. Now that I know Him for myself, and He has claimed me as His own, how I long to be in His presence as He sits upon the throne. I see Jesus in every sunrise, and I can feel Him in every wind that blows. I see Jesus in every raindrop that falls. I see Him everywhere. Now in my heart I can feel Him in my mind. I know that He's there in my spirit. He speaks words of peace to me, and it's been
always something good